This is Tim Bryce with my column entitled My Recent Trip to Mars. I want to tell you about my recent trip to Mars. Actually, this is just my initial sketch as I hope to write much more in the coming weeks. It was a long trip, but I finally arrived home safely. Even though it was a rather cold and desolate place, Mars has a stark beauty all its own, and I actually felt quite at home. The sunrises and sunsets were certainly beautiful, though. Surprisingly, there were a lot of inhabitants there, and I was able to identify many of the species. First, there was control freakus. These were small people who smelled of cabbage and directed the work of others. Back home, we called them micromanagers or helicopter parents, and I suspect this species must be somehow related, as they were just as obnoxious. No decision is made without the control freakus' stamp of approval, and if anything goes wrong, the freakuses have the uncanny ability to blame others. Automobilius drivius crazius. There weren't too many vehicles there, mostly roving robots who seemed to move at a snail's pace. Despite my best efforts, I had trouble avoiding them, as they all seemed to be texting and talking on cell phones, although I'm not too sure who they were talking to, and neither did they. They were incredibly irritating, as I couldn't seem to avoid them. Then we had Politicus Maximus Ignoramus. They appeared to have a rudimentary government system in place. The politicians seemed to be hyperactive. They run around a lot, snapping up photo opportunities and spinning their political diatribe to anyone within earshot. It seemed they would promise the inhabitants anything but offered no means to pay for it. Very strange. I got the odd feeling they were past masters at rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. Homo sapien aescholius, which is a term I invented to refer to the inhabitants. Interestingly, half were quite productive, worked hard, and enjoyed life, while the other half were shiftless, lazy, and wouldn't assume responsibility for their actions. It seems the Politicus Maximus Ignoramus concentrated their attention on this latter segment of society, as they promised them a litany of entitlements. However, the workers' segment appeared to be growing tired of supporting the other half. I'm sorry I can't give you more just yet, but these are my initial observations. I took lots of notes while I was there, which I am still sifting through. I hope to write something more meaningful soon. Stay tuned. Yes, I felt quite at home on Mars. Or was it the District of Columbia? Anyway, friends, keep the faith. This is Tim Bryce in Palm Harbor, Florida. Follow me on the internet at timbryce.com.